If you get on Highway 90 or Nelson Avenue and you go east, when you leave 4th Street, you'll notice that before you get to 2nd Street, there's an elevation change to the north, and elevation changes 40 or 50 feet. When you go back and look at the old maps, there was a park between what the present day Nelson Avenue and Baldwin, and a spring came out of the hill there. And on maps, it actually shows the spring. Looking at history of Walton County, it lists the first house in DeFuniak, probably close to where 2nd Street and Main Street is now. But that spring was what they used for drinking water back then. People overlooked that you couldn't actually go to the town lake and drink out of the lake. You know, we'd been taught early on that you had to find fresh water, good water. Even though the spring in the middle of the lake is 60 feet deep, that wasn't where people first drank drinking water from. They found these steeps and these springs. And a big one is right there off Baldwin between 90 and the side of that hill. DOT put pipes in when they put Highway 90 through and routed the water to the north side of what's Highway 90 now. Up to a few years ago, you could still see the pipe from under the highway and water poured out of it year round. It forms a little branch there at Sloss, which is one of the upper ends of Sandy Creek. I think they took the drainage off Highway 90. They needed a place to divert it, so they had an easement there. So along with this old spring, you know, the drain water off the highway was rerouted there. There was a massive project there, I don't know, sometime in the last 7 or 8 years, the DOT funded, and you can still see evidence of the work from then. But as you stand up on Highway 90 today and look north there, you can see where the creek forms down this side of Sloss. My understanding, pipes were put in, it was covered over. A map that we looked at today from 1917 shows a round pool there where Nelson Avenue should have went through, and that spring came out of that pool or that swampy place. Growing up here, and I lived about a block up the hill from there, but there was always a historian or two that I migrated to. One of them was Harold Gillis, and even people like Wilson Hawley, who worked and did a lot of work for the city. They knew a lot of these old stories, and a lot of them they admitted were urban legends. They weren't really sure if they were true or not, and we were just challenged through old publications, old books, old maps, to do some research. And when we did, it was amazing some of the things that we ran across.